Okay, so the best laid plans of mice and men, we started using a live streaming platform and we were cutting in and out really bad. However, I really like Zoom a lot better because we look prettier on. So I'm Becky Norwood with Spotlight Publishing House. This is Angela Wilson, and we are celebrating Angela in the launch of her amazing and beautiful book, Living Out Loud, Design Your Life of Unlimited Possibilities. Angela, you know that most of us grew up, especially women our age, kind of grew up in a time period where we were to be seen and not heard. And I think this is true for many. And I would love, like we were starting the conversation about how that was for you. So what made you decide to write this amazing book?
So what really made me decide to write it was, I've gone through a number of experiences in my life. And none the least being that little girl, being told to be quiet a lot because I was a very chatty little girl. And then I went through a large period of my life where I completely lost my voice in that I didn't use it. And so when I regained my voice, one of the things that I became very passionate about was to assist other women so that they didn't have to go through that, and if they were in the process, maybe they could get out of it faster than I did. Right. Because I think we're all here to use our voice. Our voices are truly special and they're unique to each of us, and our uniqueness is our gift to us, but it's also a gift out to the world.
Well, one of the premises that I have as far as in publishing and working with authors is each of us have treasured gifts the world's just waiting to know about. And it's really important for us to use our voice, to share our stories, to share our life, and to really make an impact. And I personally feel that most people want to make a difference in the world. I think that at the root and the core, the majority of mankind, we're good.
Absolutely. And I think, one of the things that I find is, and this was very much part of my story as well, was I had that little voice inside me saying, there's more to life, there's more to me, but I didn't know where to go with that or what to do with that. And so it was, once I started tapping into that more and going, okay, maybe there is a different way. And, a lot of it is we listen to the old stories instead of living life by our story.
Yes.
By absolutely. Who we are and making those news stories for us. And it takes some courage, and it really takes having people around you to support you. Truly
truly does. It does, and it's a journey. And I found, even with myself, I grew up in an atmosphere where there was a lot of abuse, and one of the things I heard all the time is, I was ugly, I was worthless, and I'd never make it in this world. And you believe that after you hear it enough, and as you grow into adulthood, you grow up with thinking that's normal and that's just the way it is, and it takes a lot to overcome that. And I don't think I have a corner on the market on something like that.
No, really, there are so many people out there that those are the things that are going on in your mind. And, and to be honest, that's another reason that I'm super proud of this book, is because I was told growing up all through school that I couldn't write. I wasn't good at English. I wasn't good at most subjects, was the stories that I heard all the time. And then, even in my adult life, countless people told me that I wasn't good at writing. And then here I am, a published author. So
look at me.
I guess there's a little something to having a dream and going for it, is what I'm going to say.
Well, in your book, not only do you use QR codes, because people can scan the code with their smartphone on their camera on their smartphone, and you come to life speaking, which adds that extra personal, beautiful flavor. They really get a sense of who you are over and above the words, because now it becomes much more interactive. But the other part is that you have different keys that people can apply. Let's talk about some of these keys. And I know I published some in social media. You talk about low self-esteem and low self-worth. Do you remember what your key was for that? You were like, no.
No, I don't actually, Becky, to be honest, I'm sorry.
I have it right here.
Okay, if you don't mind prompting me, that would be awesome.
So I believe, let me make sure I got the right one. Yes, I did. It says, there's only one of you on this earth. You were born worthy and you will remain worthy for your whole journey. The gift you are is important to the world. Be you. I love that. That is beautiful. And your whole book is filled with that. I think probably school is one of the hardest places for us to really find our voice, because in school, kids can be really mean, and sometimes if we don't have the reinforcement at home and we go to school and kids, I think it's part of their growth pattern or something, but often kids can be really, really tough on each other.
Absolutely. And actually, that's something that I talk about in the book. And it's, I term it this way, that I so wanted to fit in with all the cool kids. I wanted to, I just so wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked. I wanted, and that's not uncommon from a lot of young girls. But what I find, the way I termed it was, young girls can smell desperation. And when you're desperate to fit in, guess what? They're mean.
They're very mean.
Yeah, they can be very mean, but they can be also very lovely, right? And I think it's one of those things that we need to change in society. I know when I was growing up, a lot of people would say something and then go, "Oh, just teasing." It wasn't teasing; it was bullying. Was what it was.
Yeah,
exactly.
Really mean.
Yeah, and I just, it's another one of those things that we need to really eradicate from our society. Bullying is not okay.
No,
in any shape or form.
Yeah, I've been this tall since I was 10, and I'm 5'8", and
Same
so
here.
Yeah, and when you're the tall kid, usually you're either at the end of the line or the front of the line, very first of the line, and it took until well into high school before some of the girls started passing me up, and finally some of the boys.
Yeah.
And for kids, you can be too heavy, you can be too this, you can be too that, and you never feel quite worthy or like you can fit in anywhere, and yet it's our nature to want to fit in.
Absolutely it is. And I think it's one of my absolute dreams, and again, part of why I wrote this book is to start maybe changing how women think, and maybe letting them know that it's okay to be who you are, the unique you, and let that be out into the world, because that's what we're supposed to be. But my overall dream and passion, and if I could have this come true, would be for every little girl on the planet to be herself her entire life, that uniqueness out into the world her entire life, and never have to morph themselves the way I found myself morphing, and completely losing who I was. I came to a point in my life where I had no idea who I was, because I was so buried in what I call the protective layers. I had cocooned myself so much that it was honestly almost hard to breathe. That was, because it was like I second guessed everything, everything that came out of my mouth. I would think about it 10 to 20 times before it would come out of my mouth, because I didn't want to embarrass myself, but worse, I didn't want to embarrass the people that I was with.
But you lose out on so much of the fun of life that way too, because I was the same way, because even playing games, at gatherings or whatever, I was so inhibited that I couldn't do it. I just felt awkward and whatever, and I was always afraid to express myself. And I would be like you, and I think there's so many that are like you, that where we second guess and we rethink and we think again, and pretty soon it's like we become frozen and we don't speak at all.
Absolutely, and that really, really plays into how we feel our worthiness into the world. But what it also does is if you're around people that feed into that, they then start making you believe that you're not capable. Right. And that's not true either.
Right.
It's just you've listened to your, that, I call it inner chatter. Some people call it monkey mind. Some people call it the egoic mind. But when you're listening to that so hard and not listening to who you are, then you just keep spiraling and you really feel like you have no choices in life and you can't see the possibilities. And once you start working through that and stop listening to that, now, when I say stop listening, it's always there,
Right.
but it's really training yourself to go,
Pay
no,
attention.
sorry.
Pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I always say that life, this is a journey. We are not one and done. So it's not, read this book and everything's fixed, right? It's a journey that we keep going on. And
there's always triggers that can come up and slap you upside the face, but it's being aware of those times and doing something about it.
Absolutely. And it's also, getting to that space of going, I'm doing, like, today, I'm just going to be the best version of me I can be. And then, because what I know is I'm a different person tomorrow than I am today, because I've had experiences today that make me a different person tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, we started the other video and we got glitched out, but we talked about your cover. It's a very unusual cover. Let's talk about that.
So this cover, when I decided that I was going to write this book, I decided that I wanted an original piece of art for it. And I have a client and a very dear friend that is the amazing artist that did this piece. So I commissioned it, and I actually have the full-size version for my wall, which is fantastic. And yeah, it came out of, so this is she asked me about the book and we had a long conversation, and this is what she felt the essence of the book is. It's
just striking. It's kind of just, it really catches your eye because it's not a cover you see just anywhere.
No.
And the way they brought around the back, it's faded into the background. I think they did a really good job with picking that out. So in the cover, when somebody picks up the book, not open the pages yet, but just in the cover, what do you hope they're going to see?
I hope that they're going to see that this is a book to have a different perspective on things, and for them to go, oh, design your life of unlimited possibilities. What are unlimited possibilities? Mm-hmm. How does life get like that? And living out loud really is, it's that. For me, it's using your voice, because I believe everyone is supposed to be seen, heard, and to laugh out loud.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I'm really hoping by the big, bold red letters of living out loud that somebody goes, ooh, living out loud, maybe I could do that. Is there a possibility of that? Oh, and there you go into the unlimited possibilities, right? So
your chapter 16 is talking about navigating to be seen. And your key for that is choosing to be seen, and allowing yourself to be seen takes courage. If you want to live a magical life and be you will need to tap into that courage. The joy of not hiding and being all of you is magnificent and ultimately rewarding. There is only one you. Stand up and allow people to see you. It's beautiful. And I think I need to make posters all around where I always am, because sometimes it's easy to forget those things.
Absolutely, it is. And it's one of those things that, and actually I talk about this in the video that goes along with this, it's scary to be seen for a lot of people. And I know myself with putting the book out, it's like, okay, I'm really out there in the world now. So it's that it does take courage, but you know what? We all have that courage inside. And sometimes what we need is someone else to recognize it so that we can see it ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
And that's what I'm hoping with the book, that assists through the book.
Well, you work in coaching with women on this very subject, don't you?
Yes, I do. And my favorite kind of lines, because I work with women with this, and also on a financial piece as well. And so I always say that I want women to stand strong in their lives, because
Beautiful.
that's really important.
Yeah, very important. So in this process, you and I have had a few conversations about actually creating a course behind it, creating something that can go, even a workbook to go along with this, because when you start tapping into discovering your true self and the beauty of the true you and begin to live it, there is that support system that is often needed in order to be able to do that. And if you don't have it in your immediate environment, whether you're just completely on your own alone, or whether you're in a family where that's not appreciated, that's what you provide, is that atmosphere for that.
Absolutely. And part of the reason that I'm passionate about this and wanted to do this type of work is that I didn't have that support system in my life at one time. And, I do now, which I'm so grateful for. And I really want to be that person for others that I could have used along the way.
Yes,
that's really what I want to
absolutely.
be.
Well, we want to celebrate you today. Your Kindle book already became bestseller, and in both, actually international bestseller. And it's in process today for the actual print book and the paperback, this one, this one. So what a celebration of accomplishment. And you've been amazing to work with. It's been really fun to be able to, it's quite a process to bring a book to the world, and to be able to kind of pull out the juicy tidbits and really put it together succinctly in a book is amazing. But there's much more than just getting the book written to bring it to the world and to get to this stage. So my congratulations to you, and a deep appreciation for the journey that you've been on and the work that you do in the world. And for those that are listening or will be listening, we do have, I can see us talking on the other screen. I did put the link to the book in the chat, and we will be sharing this throughout social media today. We usually use a platform that goes live in many different locations, so I will go behind and upload it to my channels, and I will give you the link so you can upload it to yours too.
Thank you so much, Becky. It's been a pleasure working with you. I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, I can't say how grateful I am enough for all of your assistance and support through this, because it's a lot, especially on, well, I would think every time, but especially on your first time, because there's so much that goes on, and you've been so gracious and patient with me, and I appreciate it. Well,
we've had some glitches too. I spelled a word wrong when I sent on social media, and I'm like, oh my, but it just isn't the busy of life that stuff like that happens. And for that, I apologize, but it's been, we've worked our way through it, and thank you for your graciousness.
Oh, no problem. Actually, I have a mentor of mine that says perfection is not a requirement.
Thank God.
And I think that's so true.
Yeah, so congratulations. Let's celebrate this day, celebrate this magnificent accomplishment. I always say that writing a book and getting it published and doing it the right way is like having a baby, and this is your baby.
Absolutely.
So,
so excited about this for sure.
Well, very good, and you have much to be proud of. So for those listening, pick up a copy. You'll enjoy it. You'll really love it. And as we go through the day, take some moments to just truly relish in the enjoyment and excitement and the accomplishment of it all.
Thank you so much, Becky. I will.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.